Hey, hello, this is Jim. I'm going to show you how to do the container and cloud native workshop today. We'll be doing module 2 and we'll start with chapter 1. So I'm going to log in and get assigned a workspace. This is a little application we use to make sure that people don't double up and cause each other problems on their instances. Here's our debugging module for today. There's a great little overview here. I'm going to skip it, but this is encyclopedic knowledge in terms of the pieces that are being used to put together the workshop and pieces being demonstrated, and it's really worth a read. At the time you're done with the workshop, you may want to click on all labs in one page and save this because it could be very helpful as you're doing projects with OpenShift Kubernetes. So first thing we're going to do is get our environment ready. Um, we'll log into Code Ready Workspaces, and this will be our work environment. Don't need this anymore. Now this is a fairly sizable application, JavaScript, HTML5 style Che workspace. Backend is the VS Code open source project Microsoft came out with. So if you know any shortcuts or VS Code knowledge, it's very useful here. Okay, and first thing we'll do is a git clone. I'll just get rid of this so you can see how it works. Um, I've been in here playing around before. So we'll git clone here. We can git clone from various different places. The source repository is in the public Git right here. Got to put it up there. And select projects as the location. And now we have that. What we now need to do is check out the right version. So we're using OpenShift version 4.5 here. So this will change the directory to our project directory and do a git checkout of just what we want. And that pretty much sets us up here. Other than logging into OpenShift, this is done with a flyout toolbox you see here. I already have that open, but that's where you get it. Log into OpenShift, user 1. Now this will consume this terminal. We don't have to leave that terminal open, but we can do OC who am I to find out if OC thinks we're anybody, and it thinks we're user 1. That's great. The desired result. We didn't do module 1 already, so we need to do module 2, and this is going to take a few minutes. So I'm going to start this and pause the recording. Be right back. All right, I have my environment finished up and ready to go here. So now we're going to verify the dev environment. As part of the environment deployment, there was a deployment to user 1 cool store dev environment, and we'll check that out here. What we're going to do is issue a command here that looks for the elements of the deployed application, the build config, the IaaS, the image stream, deployment controller, and the service, as well as the route. And that looks like everything is here. And we can verify that too by taking a look in the topology view. So this will be our first login to OpenShift Web Console. And I'm going to move it over here. I can see that here it is. If I click on this, I should see the application results, but it's not quite done deploying. It just deployed. I can tell that because it was a lighter blue ring. Now it's a darker blue ring. At any point, once it's done, once it's running, this shows me the application we're dealing with today, the monolith. So this is a cool store where if you ever wanted Red Hat socks, you could get Red Hat socks. Who knew? And a Quarkus subatomic supersonic Java uh, flask there. I should say it's a bottle. And of course hats and webcam covers, that kind of stuff. So that is working just fine. Now, we can also log into the pod that contains the database because all this stuff is backed up by a PostgreSQL database right here. And we'll just show you how you can verify that. So I'll do a OC OpenShift command RSH. Now we're in the pod. And while we're in the pod, we can see what the root directory looks like. You can see, if I look else, I don't see anything. Print working directory. We're in AppRoot source, so we'd expect that's where the source code goes in a lot of builds. This we'll do a SQL query, and you can see if you wanted to take the painstaking effort to verify the names versus the prices, this is what you'd see in the web app. So that means we're good to go for the rest of the workshop.